Hey, this is Eric with Low VA Rates. I believe we are now live. It is a happy Red Friday, as we say every week on our videos here at Low VA Rates. Why do we wear red on Friday? Because red for us stands for remembering everyone deployed. So if you do hashtag Red Friday and put a picture of you or a loved one wearing red on Friday, we'll send you a Low VA Rates hat or a sweatshirt, t-shirt. We have all sorts of Red Friday swag that we can mail you. Just put a picture of yourself on Facebook or Instagram, hashtag Red Friday, tag Low VA Rates, and show your support. So to all the men and women of the military out there, especially as we're coming up on the 4th of July, thank you for your service. And we like to build that culture here at Low VA Rates. Today, we're talking about VA Streamline rules for 2018. Now, we've done many posts, many blogs, many articles, many videos about the VA Streamline. It's a loan that we've grown to love here at Low VA Rates. And we've been pretty vocal over the last 3 to 6 months about some changes that the government was supporting, changes to the VA Streamline. We're not going to go off on a rant today and tell you all the reasons why we feel like these changes could have been better and why they've harmed veterans, because it's now a law, and as citizens of this great country, we have to obey that law, and that's what we do here at Low VA Rates. So what we do want to do is we want to update all of our listeners, our fans, our followers, specifically people with VA home loan benefits on these. I'm going to put new right here, because if you go start doing research online about the VA Streamline, you're going to find thousands, millions of articles that will mislead you. We still have them on our website. We're in the process of updating those websites and those pages because the rules have completely changed. Not just a little, but they're extremely different. This loan is still hugely beneficial to veterans. We still continue to offer it here at Low VA Rates, but let's go over the 3 main changes or the new rules for 2018. I'm going to try to get through these relatively quickly so that if there are questions, I'm hoping I can field those for you. So the number 1 change out of the 3 is something we refer to as seasoning. Now, I'm not talking about what you're going to go put on your ribs this weekend when you're preparing for the 4th of July. Seasoning, as it refers to the VA Streamline, means you can't just refinance your VA mortgage whenever you want. You have to wait at least 6 months from the time that you got your mortgage before you can refinance. Now, it's a bit more complex than just 6 months, but for today's video, I'm going to keep it somewhat simple. Really, what we want to see happen and what the VA wants to see happen, we've talked about Ginnie Mae. They're an agency that supports this, and so do all of your senators and congressmen and women. They want to make sure that veterans, let's say you bought your home in January and you made a payment in January. Well, then January, February, March, April, May, June, you have to make all of your payments up through June before you can even consider a Streamline refinance. Now, that may not seem like a big change, but it is a significant change from in the past. Okay? Number 2 change after seasoning is something referred to as an NTB if you're a mortgage person, but that means benefit. Okay? The VA and Ginnie Mae and the lawmakers and us here at Low VA Rates, of course, we want to make sure there is sufficient benefit when doing a refinance. VA rules prior to these changes, the Streamline rules were somewhat vague in what that benefit would be. They're now black and white. Here's your benefit. You must drop at least a half of a percentage point. So if you've got a 6% rate today, you have to drop at least to 5.5% if you're trying to get a fixed rate mortgage. If you're trying, and that's fixed, okay? If you want to get into an adjustable rate mortgage, which you know at Low VA Rates, we love that loan, you have to drop 2%. So if you're on a 6% rate today, you would have to get a 4% ARM loan if you were going to go into an ARM. So there is a benefit test that requires you either drop a half point if you're going into a fixed rate mortgage from a fixed rate mortgage, or that you drop 2 points if you're trying to do an ARM. And the third and final change that we're going to talk about today is something referred to as a Recoup Test. Okay? The Recoup Test did not exist before. And so this is making it more difficult for veterans to qualify for Streamlines. You must recoup what? Your closing costs. So when you do a refinance, you can do it with no cost. You can do it with costs. If you're going to do a VA Streamline refinance, again, I keep referring to it, these are just Streamline changes. You must recoup your closing costs in 36 months, which also equals 3 years. Okay? So let's just say it costs you $3,600 in closing costs, and you're saving $100 a month. You would pass the Recoup Test. Take $3,600, divide it by 100, you get 36, you're good. If it's costing you $5,000 to refinance, and you're saving $100 a month, you would not qualify under the new VA Streamline guidelines. That's one of the things that frustrates us here at Low VA Rates, because what veteran out there or surviving spouse of a deceased veteran wouldn't benefit from $100 a month in savings? That's a huge amount of savings for most of our military men and women. However, if the closing costs are too high, they can no longer do it. Now, we are experts here at Low VA Rates. Maybe next week we'll expound on some of these changes. We try to keep these Friday videos nice and concise. There are ways, if you're not going to recoup your closing costs in 36 months, if you talk to us or speak with an expert VA loan officer, that you still may be able to take advantage of these hard-earned VA benefits. Again, the rules have changed. We do commend those behind these rule changes up to a point. We think that they had good intentions. We do believe that there were lenders out there that were doing loans for veterans that weren't in the veterans' best interest. There were even some veterans that were taking advantage of the program. So at the root of these changes, we do commend those that supported the changes. As we've mentioned in the past, we do feel like some more thought and research maybe could have gone into the impact of some of these changes. But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to sum this all up here in just a moment, but I want to invite anybody watching, if you have questions or concerns about anything we talked about, we love some interaction on these Friday videos. Sometimes we get lots of it, sometimes we don't. So are there any questions yet coming in?
There's one. It's not Streamline related.
That's okay.
But Brady Smoot wants to know what product you use in your hair.
Brady Smoot, you always catch me off guard. For those that don't know, Brady Smoot is a brother-in-law of mine. He's the type of guy that any of you would like to, you would love this guy if you knew him. But let me just tell you, the product I use in my hair, it's called Taffy something or other. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a blog post on how I get my hair to look so wonderful, Brady, next Friday when we do another video. Any questions about changes to the Streamline refinance? So listen, interest rates are going up. The Federal Reserve continues to raise them every month. So if you are a veteran and you have an interest rate that is higher than around the mid-4s to low 5s, give us a call. There are ways for you, even under these stricter 2018 guidelines, to get a lower interest rate. And if you've got equity in your home, what an opportunity to take advantage of the VA's cash out program, home improvements, pay off your debt. Thank you for your service. Thanks for your support. We'll see you next week, same time.